Hello, my name is Michael Tighe. I'm President and CEO of Tiger Light, and we just got these defense alert devices in, and they are an incredible product. I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you how to use them. For those of you who may be a little bit reticent about using a device with pepper spray and Bluetooth technology and so forth in it. So basically, just when you get the box, open it up, and you can just drop out both trays. There are two trays in there. We'll get the light out, drop the bottom tray down. This one contains the live and inert practice spray and the battery. And then inside this other tray is your owner's manual, your operating manual, instruction manual, whatever you want to call it. And you can look through this rather than listen to me if you like. But I thought a visual representation might be good. So here's the device. Here's how it comes. It has a safety tab right here. You can have it in anytime you want, but I would highly recommend you not leave it in there when you might possibly need it, because you don't want that in there when you're being attacked, because you will not be able to spray the unit or send an alert. So remove the safety tab. Put this thumb here, push up on the little tab under here while you're holding down on the top, and then just pull it off. It's very simple. The actuator will come out. Take your practice canister, take the top off, drop it in. Always try to point the actuator away from you and never push hard when you're inserting a canister. There's a hole inside that the top of the canister needs to go into. Just drop it down in there lightly like that, and you're ready to go. You can spray the canister even without the top on. It'll spray, and you can practice with it, set up scenarios, mock attacks, have somebody with goggles, you can spray them in the face. Get used to using the device. That's very important. This goes back on very easily. We have not put it on quite yet. We're going to take this off right here. Just unscrew it. And we'll put the battery in with the positive down, pointing down. And then screw it back together. Very simple. And then put the cover back on. These rails have to go into these slots right here. So make sure it's lined up properly on both sides. And then just slide it on and it will snap into place. Okay? And to turn the light on, you just press the black button here and it will strobe automatically for 3 seconds. It assumes that you're being attacked, then it will go to high automatically. If you don't want it to strobe, you just tap it twice without clicking it, but just tap it twice quickly and it'll go straight to high mode and bypass the panic mode. And then you can go to low mode, you can go to, high mode, then to a low mode, and then to a constant strobing mode, and then you can go to an SOS mode. Now if you want to leave it in any particular mode, you just push the button down all the way till it clicks, and it will stay in that mode. Right now it's in the SOS mode. When you turn it off again, if it's off for 5 seconds or more, it will automatically go back to the first mode and to the panic mode if you push the button down. So that's how the light works. Now the spray is the shiny button up there, and you don't have to have your thumb all the way in there. So if you have a big fat thumb, don't worry about it. You can just put it right on the tip of there, push it down, it will spray and it will send the alert. Now if you don't want to spray someone, but you want to send the alert, you can just click it. I think you probably heard that little click. I just pushed it down a little bit, just enough to click it without spraying it, and that sent an alert. So if you crash on your bicycle and you don't want to spray the spray, but you want to send an alert, so somebody passing by in their car doesn't see you laying in the ditch and and gets half a mile down the road and gets an alert and sees that somebody back half a mile down the road is in trouble, they can come back and help you. Or if you're in downtown Chicago and you're walking from your restaurant to your hotel at night, you're in town on business, and somebody approaches you and you're not sure what's going on, you can push out alert, and there may be 100 people within a couple hundred yards of you in the shops and condos, walking down the street, other places, that get your alert and know where you are and can come to your rescue. So it's an incredible device. But there are many things that make this device important and make it the best form of personal protection in the world at any price. As far as non-lethal personal protection goes, there's nothing that comes close. And there's about 5 really good reasons. And it's important to know this. So I'm going to rehash this a little bit with some of you who may already know and educate those who don't. But this isn't just a flashlight with pepper spray and a Bluetooth GPS device. It's much more than that. And what I mean by that is the effectiveness of the product is determined by a number of things. One, the device has to be in your hand, finger on the trigger when you're attacked. Because if it's not in your hand, if it's in your purse, glove compartment, in a holster, you can still be attacked, never be able to get to it, and be killed or assaulted in other ways, whatever might happen. If it's in your hand, you can use it very quickly. It's very much, we've assimilated both the psychological and physiological response to an act of aggression. Both are very, very important. So the natural response is to punch, grab, reach out to somebody who's attacking you. This is very similar to that. So if your hand's here, it's just like throwing a punch. It's very quick, it's very natural. You don't have to train 1,000 times before it comes natural in a high-stress situation. That's very, very important. But people do not carry weapons in their hand. That's the problem. It's a huge problem. They just won't do it. People don't want to feel like other people think they're paranoid walking around with a weapon in their hand. So whether it's a can of pepper spray or a stun device or a gun or whatever, it's not going to be in their hand. And I know plenty of people who've been raped, robbed, killed, other crimes been committed against them, and their weapon was in their purse, in their pocket, in their holster, in their glove compartment, somewhere where they couldn't access it immediately. And in an attack, people don't broadcast their attack. You don't have time. Most people, by the time they know they're being attacked, physical contact has already been made. And so it has to be ready. That's the first thing. And because it doesn't look like a weapon, it's multi-purpose, it's a flashlight, it looks like a camera or flashlight, people don't hesitate to walk around with this when they're walking, jogging, doing whatever, because it doesn't give that perceived notion that you're paranoid. And that's very important because it'll be in more people's hands to begin with. Second, and equally important, is whether or not it stays in your hand during the attack. 90% of people will drop their weapon when they're attacked because they go to grab the other person and their hands open up instinctively, automatically. You're not thinking about it, you don't have time to think about it. It just happens, your weapon ends up on the ground and it's no good to you. And it may end up being used by the other person. So this hand strap is very, very, very important. Those 2 reasons alone, if there were nothing else, those 2 reasons are enough just by themselves to have this device. And the fact that it's really almost looks like jewelry or something, it's very stunning looking, and it just doesn't have the appearance. I mean, people have said, well, why don't you make it look more like a weapon? We don't want it to look more like a weapon. We want them to be totally confused as to what it is, because that gives you a big advantage, and I'll tell you about that for number 3. And number 3 is its effectiveness. This is nothing like, don't think of this as pepper spray and a flashlight, because it does not work like pepper spray does. And that's been documented, it's been proven 100 times over, 1,000 times over. We've been doing this with police departments and military for 15 years. And they've always been shocked at the amazing stop rate of Tiger Lights. Past Tiger Lights have had a documented 96% stop rate. And that's in huge studies done at major departments. Nothing else even comes close to that. The only thing that comes close to that is a gun. And some people just don't want to kill other people or don't need to. and aren't going to carry a gun around and aren't going to use it in every situation that might occur where they might need some form of defense. A gun can be great in the right set of circumstances, but this obviously is non-lethal, and the person after 30-40 minutes are going to be back to normal. But that effectiveness is key. And we've had departments that had below 50% stop rate with their belt carried spray. The pepper spray, professional grade that they use on the department, have been using for years. We've had reports where their stop rate was actually below 50%. So 50% of the time it's failing. It's not stopping the assault or the violence or whatever. And so that's not very good odds. You don't want that for your wife or your daughter or yourself or anybody else in your family. You want something that has a much greater chance of stopping the attacker. And you want something that will stop multiple attackers, unlike stun devices or other things that only good on one attacker at a time, and only has a very short incapacitation time, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe up to 30 seconds, but still that's not very long. You better be a fast runner to be able to get away from there. With this, 30, 40 minutes, they're in pretty bad shape. And the effectiveness also is key, because you get people on meth, PCP, other things. That's why one big department had a below 50% stop rate, because they had a very high use of PCP in the area, and when people are on PCP, they don't feel the pain. And in fact, the department called us, their head of training called us and asked what we were putting in the Tiger Light. They didn't believe it was just pepper spray. They thought it had to be something else, and they were worried about going to court and finding out they had something else that wasn't specified by their department and approved, and they might get in trouble legally. And they just did not believe at first that what we had in there was pepper spray. They truly thought we were putting something else in there that was far, far more powerful, because they had this below 50% stop rate, and in a year and a half when I got the phone call, they had not had a single failure to stop with a Tiger Light, which just was incredible to them. They just could not believe that. But when I explained to them why, they understood and were happy about it, obviously, because it was working so well. But it's because of that surprise element. The person doesn't have a chance to turn their head, shield their face, close their eyes, and most importantly, they do not have a chance to hold their breath. And so the person that can withstand the pain because they're not feeling any pain can't withstand the respiratory distress. They think they're dying. They're in survival mode. Survival breathing mode. They actually are getting plenty of air, but they have to fight for their life to get it. And when they're doing that, they're not thinking about attacking anybody. They're just thinking about surviving, and that's why they go down and they stop. They're incapacitated. They're done. You get away to safety, and that's it. So those three reasons are really, really critical reasons. Each one of those reasons by themselves is reason enough to have this device. You put those three reasons together, and there's not even any comparison. It's like 100 to 1. It's not even that, because with a device like this, why would you get any other device? You just wouldn't. I mean, why would you? I can't even imagine. If this were $500, I wouldn't buy one of those devices that has half the chance, or maybe a little more than that, but a lot of them half the chance of what this device will do. The University of Utah did a study on commercial pepper sprays, and they found that only 2 of them even were anywhere near what they claimed to be. Some of them were as much as 1/100th the potency they claimed. Literally 1/100th, not a half, not a quarter, not a tenth, but 100th of the potency they were claiming. I mean, you might as well use it on your taco, because it's not going to stop anybody. It's just, and those things, because it's not regulated, can happen. And those are being sold in big stores, things like that, where we've got a spray. We use a couple of sprays that are used by the top agencies in the world, the military. In fact, this spray that we're using in this is double the potency that we're using in our Tiger Light T100. But it's legal in all 50 states, a couple of states, New York and Massachusetts. We can't ship to those states. They have to be purchased from gun dealers and pharmacies in the state, and we'll have that set up soon. But these are very important reasons for carrying this device and having it with you. And then the cost, compared to a lot of devices, some of the stun devices and guns are hundreds of dollars and even into the thousands. And this you can get for $130 or less if you're buying more, and that sort of thing. So it's an incredible device, and we're very happy about it, and hope that it can really make a huge difference out there both with the effectiveness of the device, the frequency that it's in people's hands, and the defense alert device. We think criminals are going to start thinking twice about attacking people and assaulting people, because they're going to find out that when they do, they're going to have a lot of company really quick. And not only are they not going to be able to assault the person because the person has a way to stop them, they're not going to be able to get away either and go try to do it to somebody else. They're going to be stopped because they're going to have 100 people around them, many of which may have these devices, may have other devices, may have baseball bats, and who knows what, and they're not going to let that person get away. So we're very, very excited about this product. Now be sure when you're done with your practice spray that you put your live spray in your light. And that's what you have in here. Get rid of that practice spray. Just practice with it. Take it, throw it away. Make sure it's not in your light, because that practice spray will not stop or hurt anybody. It doesn't do anything. It has no pepper in it. It has no chemical agent in it. It's like a hairspray or something. So just use it to practice with when you first get it, and put it away. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to call us. Look at the manual, go online, look at other demos and things, and enjoy your product, and please tell others about it. Thank you very much.